What's up, beautiful souls? Well, welcome in. This is Casey at the Guardian Oracle 33. How is everybody? Technical difficulties. Nothing new. What's up, Jace? I'll wait for you guys to get back in here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Casey. I am a psychic medium and intuitive. I channel higher intelligent beings, my higher self, angelic realms, the divine masters. Alright, so I'm just going to open this up. Welcome in, guys. This is a channel about connectivity to yourself, to laughter, to humor, to others. This channel is about healing and how we go through things. Reading energy, what might be coming, helps you to use your intuition. Hello, Christina. There's my family. Oh, I love you guys so much. Alicia, I love you. Hello to you, gorgeous. Alright, I got these cards a long time ago, and I want to kind of try them out. So, I'm not exactly, I haven't read, I need to pull up the manual how to, there's one left in the box. Social determination. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to use my guidance on how to use those. How have you guys been? It's been a minute, huh? It's been a minute. Alright. Let me know if Zerdik shows up. I'm sure I'll see him, but trying to think who else. I wanted to let you guys know, make an announcement. If I have not been able to catch up on your personal read due to personal emergencies within my own life, and things switching around, anybody who I owe you a 1 hour, I discontinued the 1 hours unless it's emergency read, and those are $100. Anybody who has gotten, or I still owe a read to at this time, I haven't gotten to you, there's 3 of you, I believe. Each and every one of you have a free hour read coming from me. So that's just kind of my thank you for being patient. I do trust in divine timing that everything is always happening as it should be. Holy Spirit, holy angels of the highest bright light, I call on you for clarity and guidance. Archangel Michael. Buddha. I heard the Michelin Man. Oh, Cheerio. Asgard. Alright, so I see Zerdik's higher self is here. What is up, guys? Hello, Anita. Juanita! Cheerio, mates! Alright, let's take a look. I will be doing this read completely without tarot, because I have no tarot decks, but I have my mind's eye, and that's even stronger than any deck that I have. I love you guys. Let's hone our intuition and let's see what's going on. I hope I can pick up on some collective energies, things that are going on, maybe something, a sign, a synchronicity. My job, it's not a job really when you love it, but my intention here is to bring enlightenment for the greatest good of all. Maybe if it's just planting that seed that will forever be a truth that's already been written on our hearts. You know, whether we're learning that truth or we're in the middle of it now, or we just feel like we haven't reached it. There's so many layers to us. I just want to say, first and foremost, don't get discouraged on your path. Look how far you've come, even in the last 3 months, let alone the last 3 years. You're magnificent. Look at how you think. Look at how you move through your day. Your ability to see signs and synchronicities. You know, you're finding the universe is working with you. That you're so loved, you know. There's so many things that we get to break away from. And it's like the world of the mystics, the truly, you know, that realm of things that we don't see. It's because we're so programmed. And only those, like, would you gonna give the key to a palace filled with magic and abilities to just any fucking Tom and Harry? TikTok. Tinny, Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, not really. I'm so glad my mother didn't name me Dick. And if your name's Dick, Richard, that's okay. We love you. Where is Richard been? I have not seen Dick in a minute. I've got to go. Here we go. I had a dick once. Don't get started. Hey! My 3-year-old daughter screams. I mean, you could hear her across 3 counties. Dick's been MIA. I fucking hate it when that happens. Hope he's okay. I can't work with you, Jace. Hi, Haslin. Oh, hell no. Not. Check, please. I gotta go. Laughter seems important here, you know. It's not that hard to have a laugh, you fucking cranky. So anyways, I love you guys, and I hope you get a message. If you're new to my channel, hit the like and subscribe button. If you dig my vibe, if you like the way that I read, my style of reading, I may or may not be picking up personal reads here this next week and carrying on. Definitely, and first and foremost, will be for those of you that are waiting on me. I love you so much. Thank you for your patience. I love you. You guys are so awesome. You guys are so good to me. And I just love you so much and send so much love and light out to you, and you know, intelligence and enlightenment. And it takes a village, man. It takes a village. And we're here, and we're doing it. We're being true. We're finding our ways. And you know what? It seems like it always comes back to kindness, doesn't it? You know, doing good and being kind to others. When you're living in a state of that, not you're kissing somebody's ass or you're doing something because you expect something, but just true, genuine kindness. Kindness in your heart. When that is, when you see others getting bullied or things happening to others, if that doesn't light a fire in your belly, I mean, obviously, you know, some of us warriors, our first, you know, is we should de-escalate. But when it gets to that point, I think a lot of us are good at that. For those, you know, that are highly intelligent, you know, and emotionally intelligent, you know, getting in there riled up while 2 other motherfuckers are riled up ain't gonna do shit. You know, you gotta be, you know, benevolent until you're not. I tried to talk him down and then he pissed me off, so I whooped his ass. Damn it. Told you to settle down back there. Now look at you. Mariah, I think you telling him how you feel is important. I'm seeing an elderly earth dweller, extraterrestrial. On the other side of that, I see domestic abuse with love and agonistic or atheist within the faith. Physical limitation trauma as well. I don't know, does somebody have an infection here? Some sort of infection. Earlier, you know, some of you might have the ability, the sense to be able to smell when others are sick around you or when others are not feeling well. You know, you can pick up on that. For those that do have disease, you could probably tell somebody in advance, hey, you know, I sense this, you know, let's go get that checked out. If you guys are having dreams about, you know, premonitions, you know, foretelling, follow your intuition. You know, there's others on the other side with the tree of life here, others that are guiding us, ancestors, benevolent beings. There's a soul plan here. For some of you that just found out you're terminally ill, I love you. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who thought they had it all figured out. You know, all of it. And then, maybe you found a way to enjoy life again. You know? Maybe you found the beat to your drum, you know, and it's taking you to a point of complete freedom. I also feel like if you are sick or you're hurting in some ways, with the extraterrestrial being out here, and this close encounter that's at the top of this deck, I do feel like not all things are as they seem. I think that there is advancements, obviously. You know, this doesn't always have to mean, you have to remember, these are translucent beings. It's their energy. It's energy. And you can welcome that into your electromagnetic field, into your auric field. You can receive those healing energies. The soul plan is out here when I seen that. You know, somebody is on a time frame here. And this does have something to do with lessons and your leadership in a whole. How will you lead? What are you leaving behind? I don't know. I see affair and love out here with mystical faith, as well as unexplained disappearances. Death on the other side of that. Lessons. A death of the fire. You know, maybe somebody, unless this is a fire sign. Watcher or guardian, a close encounter, extraterrestrial, the tree of life. Intention, being true. Right. Let's see what else we have. Holy Spirit, holy angels. The serpent. The serpent comes out. There's so many stories about the serpent, isn't there? Just like everything else, what it should and what it shouldn't mean. You know, sometimes shit just sneaks up on you. The number 46, April 6th, could be prominent here. It's like, if somebody draws or somebody's having a dream of like snakes or mythological creatures, or it's kind of like, I'm hearing it's part of your abandoned consciousness. Your abandoned consciousness. You know, you could be right now seeding other aspects of yourself, or unlocking other aspects of your double fucking strand on the helix, mate. Your DNA. You know, other abilities as far as clairvoyance, foresight, your ability to psychically connect to others around you, whether this is not only emotions, it's vibrational frequencies. You ever been in the mind of somebody else all fucking day by accident, thinking it's your thoughts and it's not? You know, telepathy. You know, for some of you as well, this is a double-headed snake. I can't see where one begins and the other ends, because it's almost like there's a bird in between holding them together. There's a bird in between holding them together. What does that even mean? Hey, I just want to spread some positivity and say your live stream rocks and I love you. In a ditty way. I don't know what a ditty way means. Thanks for liking my live stream. I appreciate that. The crow. Alright. This has got slight fucking witchy mystical shit going on here. The staff, the vision quest, and the hunter. Yeah, the fucking hunter, eh? Somebody here is trying so hard to remember what these encounters are. This vision quest. You've got the vision quest, you've got the crow, the hunter, and the staff. This is my shamanic deck. Leadership and lessons are out here. I was talking about wakening up to other spiritual gifts that have been laying dormant within your own being. The birds, number 13. The hunter, number 27, and the staff. The staff, 61. And when I see the staff, I think about there's many paths here. Maybe these paths feel like so often, you know, it leads you in a circle, back in a circle. You know, I'm trying to think of that symbology. We just read it, and it's the serpent that goes around and the head eats the tail. It talks about, what was it? Completion, infinity, the circle of life. Okay, also for some of you, I want to say, if you're having in and out of consciousness, or whether this is deep meditation state, or in whatever way, we're talking about connecting, right? Ethereal beings. I'm hearing ethereal beings. There's a time frame here. Sibling identity, you could be talking about a twin. Faith, maybe one believes, one doesn't. I heard that one believes, one doesn't. There's trauma here. There's physical limitations in some way. Maybe somebody here was in a hunting accident. For some of you are accessing or can channel ancestral beings here. When I talk about shamanic, no matter which way you're tapping into spirits, this is somebody here who's doing this benevolently at this point from what I'm seeing. It's a natural, innate ability that you have, Timing comes out here again. It says, trust the timing. When you start to feel delays, or you feel, I have goosebumps on my legs, when you start to feel goosebumps, no spirit's with you, no, everything is always happening. If you really tune in, sometimes it can feel like the fucking Truman Show, huh? When you're fucking alone. Somebody's really questioning reality. If it's not a holographic projection, I'm hearing, and somebody's like, but then if I pinch myself, I feel pain. Where does the soul go? It's like somebody's looking at, what does this all fucking mean? Somebody's here. It says late modern age time frame. I'm seeing wife and identity out here. Widow and widower. Walking the middle path, learning lessons. Judge the law. So justice is coming in some sort of situation. I remember the soul plan. The fated life versus the destiny. The fated life versus the destiny. Deep cellular healing. Arcturus energy. Physical and emotional healing. And I feel that right now. You've got the love. Hardarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. The intention here is to be true to yourself, to choose kindness. It is time to look inward and, with an attentive eye, allow your heart to guide you, and opportunities you never dreamed were possible will present themselves when you least expect it. Get ready for greatness. And somebody here, when you're reading things or you're interpreting things, these messages, some of you are experiencing things literally shifting within your physical being. Your eyeballs, you are seeing words change and shift. I'm hearing zero. They're showing me, I don't know if was it called Zero? It's that pretty blonde girl, but she takes that medicine or whatever, and she has like super fucking intelligence. Like, it's almost too much. She fucking knows everything, can tap into everything. God, they're just telling me zero. Z-E-R-O. Z-E-R-O. Zero. I'm hearing time frame. Time frame. Zero time frame. Extraterrestrial. Okay. So guardian and watcher out here. Earth dweller. I have goosebumps all over my legs soon as I said guardian. Alright, what's the message from the guardian that's out here? The judge. I wonder if this justice, this judge, and this leadership and lessons, I wonder if something didn't manifest in somebody's body. A new start. Okay, a new start comes out. This is my mantra deck, my hand mantra deck. This is dedicated to the spirit of new beginnings. This mantra helps at a start of things, like a new project or when you plan to change your circumstances. It activates the energies needed for getting down to it, for keeping going, for patience and optimism. Regularly starting anew is as much a part of life as the spring is part of the year. Even the oldest of trees produce new branches, leaves, and blossoms. I was going to say bosoms. And the smallest beginnings can produce great things. A fresh start brings new Impetus pulls one out of a rut, represents a welcome challenge, helps us to dare and bring excitement and success into our lives. In your mind's eye, can you already see what is freshly emerging? You work on the picture until it completely meets your needs, desires, and possibilities and fires your enthusiasm. Your mantra, I start fresh and taste the beginner's eagerness. And it's called the Narana, N-A-R, Narayana Mudra. What up, Pickles? Okay, so that just popped out with the new start there. And then I was asking guidance from this Watchers or these guardians, for the collective. You got the Buddha mantra, tolerance, be generous. Be generous, and I look over here, I'm seeing choose kindness. And also, I call back my power. It is safe to shine, it is safe to level up. Okay, so, level up. You know, we have these Mingo lingo, so I'm going to ask my guides to help me further channel messages. The dogs are out here hooting and hollering. Okay. I never drink soda, rarely. And today I felt the need. I wanted a soda, and I looked and there's Dr. Pepper root beer. I definitely wanted the root beer. Or the Dr. Pepper. No, I'm just kidding. It's the other way around. Okay, we got boundary, Buddha, heightened awareness. Make peace with your thoughts and your world. There is an advantage in taking things slowly. Breathe deeply and fully as you consider your options. Diving into new depths. There is a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what is really going on. Take a moment to pause and to breathe. Allow yourself a deeper dive into what you are feeling about the current situation. Barked right after you sneezed 3 times. We've got deep love, mother's milk, portal as a portal. Or birth as a portal. Hi. Say hi.
Say hi, Ellie.
Hi. There's Cashman. What's up, guys?
You want down?
Yeah.
Ellie. Reba, are you coming out here causing a scene? Okay. Talk to me about this journey, this serpent. The vision quest. Having sensible boundaries is important. We're talking about boundaries out here. The judge, lessons, leadership, watcher, guardian, close encounters. And an off-worlder here, so dealing with some sort of higher intellect and higher intelligence beings, a being. Somebody here could have a trauma with abandonment, or, you know, there's something about obsessive, you know, love. I'm seeing husband in identity now on this side of the card. Did I not just pull the wife out here? I thought that I did. Husband. Alright. Messages from the higher self, Holy Spirit. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Alright. When life comes to a standstill, turn inward and focus on joy and excitement. Your inner light keeps everything alive and moving. Taking a deeper dive. A deeper dive. The pause is the shift. Your past is now behind you. All you desire is right in front of you. Pause to reconnect with your power and follow the pull of your destiny. And out here earlier, I seen the card, your soul plan, the fated life versus your destiny life. The fated life. Make peace with your inner thoughts and your inner world. I said it feels like somebody's constantly going through every storage container that they possibly can, you know, and it, within their own being of their mind, or however this looks, or the thoughts of others, whether this is telepathic communications, you know, electromagnetic frequencies, with the obsessive love out here, you know, somebody could be learning about the abuse of, you know, within the electromagnetic field. I look down, it says abuse of technology. The age of Atlantis. Interesting. You decide. When you give yourself freely, you explain your energy as you were. Expand your energy. If you only give to get, it will be freely. It will feel like a burden or a drain. The genuine give from your heart. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of this read. Airplane. Goosebumps. I was talking about kindness. You know, we were talking about giving from the heart, a genuine space. I feel like that's where somebody has hidden an excessive amount of their power, is within not just their heart, as in, you know, how you love others or how you make others feel. It's your genuineness to stand up for somebody who needs protection, or who is genuinely a good person. You know, you could be somebody who looks at others on the soul level. You're able to recognize souls. You can, you know, the energies and vibrations, sense it. You know, maybe growing up you always had this, and at some point, due to some sort of traumatic experience, or, you know, maybe there's something very deep down that you just really don't remember. And as I'm looking out here, it says extraterrestrial, an off-worlder. You know, you could be somebody right now who's also experienced a lot of death within this life. You could be somebody who is ascending from that, using your life source energy to, it's like you're being rebirthed within that, in the understanding of what that means. I'm talking to somebody here who connects with a lot of spirits, with the staff out here in the shamanic. Somebody who's able to connect with spirits through animals, wind, the trees, you know, and the telepathy out here as well. You know, it might feel like right now, you know, I look down and I see leaping through the air. You know, you could be having dreams of flying, you know. Those flying fish are so badass because, one, not only are they, you could be an air sign, water sign, dynamic, you know, and you could feel that. I'm seeing an accidental death. You know, the location could have been on an island. The age of Atlantis. So with the past life here, and I'm seeing I remember. Don't you remember? I'm hearing that song by Adele. You could feel like your wings are, you know, are out. You might not know where the hell you're going. You know, you dream of this dream for so long. What you want, what you think it should be, how you want to navigate through that. I just want to say, if somebody, you know, one, your dreams are very prominent here. Two, I'm seeing something about portals. You could be having dreams of flying fish, as a matter of fact. When fucking fish can fly, wanker. Hi, Shauna. I love you. A plan you have made is on track. If you are waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off the ideas of the project that you are considering. There's shared inspiration out here. military time, 2045. Journey. Dealing with a Taurus, your soul plan here. You know, the shift is in the pause. There's a deeper world here. And, you know, I said, and it's not just that for those of you, Mr. Poodle, you're looking on my shoe. It's not, I'm hearing soul plan, soul plan. It's like you're trying to acclimate and elevate yourself to a level where you can try to, you're bringing in so much at one time to comprehend almost within the physical being. That could be also another reason for, I'm hearing dysmorphia in some ways. Man, the birds are just really flying over and chirping up right now. I don't know what that means, if there's something deformative in some way. I'm hearing ancient runes. Don't push or force your way through life. Finding balance even in the dark times will open your heart to the depth of compassion in everyday moments. Outside of feeling like very over emotional in some ways, like when you're connected, you're so flippin' connected. It's unmistakable. The signs, the synchronicities, the feelings, the vibrations. You're so in tuned and equipped with these abilities. You know, I don't know if there's a false teacher here. I don't know if there's a lesson here on genuinity, being genuine to yourself. You know, you can't, your happiness comes from you, and you're somebody who's learning that. It's not about what other people think or the projections of others, you know. Never apologize what brings you joy. Only you understand where you truly belong and where you can find yourself in a safe place or in bliss. I said portals, look, portals is something that is coming up here. There's another one here. It says we are the Hawthors. And there's another portal here. Talked about ancient runes, you know, and this does feel very past life in that way. And as a matter of fact, I actually have a past life deck. Did I bring it out? I must have left it inside. Give me a second. I'm gonna go grab my past life deck. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second.
Hi, Robin. Nope, I'm on my phone.
Okay. I've got me past life deck. Some of you could have a thing with turtle doves. Turtle doves. What up, Blue Ridge Rider? Love you, bro. Okay, so this could be in the love life, comes out at the bottom of the deck. I'm trying to figure out, it's like pursuing your sense of happiness, breaking through boundaries, trying to remember something. Maybe you've gotten to this place within your own self where you're starting to realize what your truest happiness is. You know, this is a kindness and love overcome the fear of others. Scriber writer, you know, the judge, law, you know, look over here and I see snitch, you know, and execution here. So maybe in a past life, this was something that you were persecuted for, speaking truths that others didn't speak. Maybe that was one of your greatest, you know, I'm seeing exposed out here, and a judge, you know, and I'm seeing the law and the law of karma. Lawyer and law enforcement here. There's a law, and then they've got extraterrestrials out here. So be it as you may, there's a huge vibrational frequency between the laws of this earth and the laws of nature, or the laws of the universe. Somebody here holds deep wisdom. You're very esoteric, and that, as I said that, when you're picking up on signs and synchronicities from other people, other things, and you're able to look at things you see things that other people can't. You're able to manifest within a space because your heart is pure. You do hold an ample amount of kindness deep at the root of you, outside of the pain, no pun intended, in whatever way that may be. You're very, the core of you is love. The core of you is, even if you get the bad rap or somebody says the story, or if somebody out here holds deep wisdom and I'm getting scribe and a writer, and then I'm seeing, farm could be a part of it here too. It says snitch, executioner, witness, executed, snitch. So it's like somebody is did something unjust and unfair because they feel like that they are the judge, the lawyer, the executioner. You've got Northern Europe. This could have been death by a fire. Identity is siblings. In this lifetime, you could have been atheist or dealing with other atheists in some way, or you could have, with the portals here, it's like maybe you were writing about this deeper wisdom and knowledge. And you could be on the brink of doing something too that brings back different wisdom and knowledge that perhaps offends others, or perhaps that ruffles the tail feathers of those with the small minds. Within kindness, there's no need to show up and show out. You know who you can fly with. You know who you can't. Those that can't, you've got exposed out here. Somebody was swindled here. This is a lesson for somebody here who holds a position of leadership. I have two sides of the law out here. I have the extraterrestrial. I'm talking about the Galactic Federations, those working with the beings of light. For those of you that are walk-ins, for those of you that are highly psychic, you've harnessed a lot of your true energy, your truest natural abilities and energy, and so your DNA and your blood, everything that you're unlocking, all these things that you're going through, is exposing more about others' motives, because you're highly intuitive. You follow the things within your being, and you're doing it with respect for yourself. Wisdom and the scribe writer, way back in the early, let's talk about Nikola Tesla. A lot of those writings and a lot of those findings were channeled messages. I'm hearing literally from the great beyond. I have goosebumps over my entire body right now. They're advanced, you're very advanced, and whatever this is, maybe writing's going to help you bring this to the forefront. Maybe writing's going to be the tool that helps you here. Vows, you could have, you got High Priestess. See, I will almost wonder if, between the Bible, Egypt, I'm hearing hypocrisy right now. Hypocrisy. I think you are somebody that wrote about the differences, what people were trying to hide up, what people were trying to cover up, how societal norms started to change, whether this was in some sort of enforcement, I think, or agency or society or group, or, everything's always changing because, vibrations are always changing. I want to say, higher beings can manifest on physical beings right in front of you. You have to live in a state of wonder. You have to keep that part of your heart open that says there's more to life than, the 9 to 5 cooking and cleaning. There's so much more to life than those things. Those things are needed. Those things are great. But It's about the experience, being in specific places, you know, and absorbing different types of energies, whether it's just a new, you know, I'm hearing monument or a new place that, you know, let's just take this back road and go see, you know, where this leads to. Curiosity. Transportation here. I don't know if some of you have dreams about getting hit by a train, or, you know, we see an accidental death out here. You know, this could have been in a time where there was arranged marriages. Older women is the identity. Middle Bronze Age was the time frame. Self-expression. So the lesson here is about expressing yourself. Thank you, Spirit, with the scribe out there. You know, it feels like you do leave a legacy for others. Many legacies for others. There could be a very importance here about, we talked about the birth and the portal of birth. American Civil War era time frame. So the lesson here is passive conformity, death, torture. So, you know, time is our most valuable asset. If we set consciously, as you were, if we consciously set priorities, this helps to avoid time pressure and or gives the day a certain structure. You are sitting in a grotto in front of a pond. At a regular intervals, a drop of water falls from a stone into the water. Observe how the circle of wavelets spreads outwards. Wavelets. They're fucking little wavelets. Spreads outwards, further and further. In the same way, a single, apparently insignificant priority which you have deliberately set yourself can have far-reaching consequences and become the start of something monumentous. Nothing is too small to be of no importance. I feel like a lesson here for a lot of people here is what belongs in this time frame and what doesn't. Where things, if you're somebody who's very highly intellectual or very intuitive in that way, I feel like you're primarily, you know, being asked to focus on not so much on the betrayal and the, I'm hearing abomination, assassination, and more or less on the light of completeness. Within the light, there's so many intellectual downloads and codes. You know, you have to remember, I feel like somebody here, it wanders too much between two minds. You know, they need to figure out what master they serve. Somebody here could struggle with self-esteem issues at this time. You know, I've talked about with that soul lesson here of being a scribe and writer. I feel like somebody had esoteric wisdom and knowledge that they would write about, speak about. And I feel like this is somebody who waits with a higher intellect. I feel like in some way you're being used to the visions that you have, whether it's just subtleties for others or something. It plays out in a much bigger way. The sorcerer's in reverse with the journey here, you know, and I'm looking at the serpent. So if some of you have had, you know, it just feels like dark energy is what it feels like. It feels like hatred, you know. It feels like density. When I'm in the energy, it feels you know, self-loathing is probably one of the most humbling lessons that we learn, to become humble, to accept our defeat. And it's not a defeat when you look at it that way. There's always ability for new lessons to be learned and to share that inspiration. In the light of the moon comes out card number 3. And it's just so happens to be a killer whale. A full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. There is an extraordinary connection at the forefront of your life at this moment. Utilize this relationship to benefit everyone concerned. Clownfish. You know, I want to say somebody here, you're highly intellectual. I want to say like, it's within your DNA. It's within your energy field, whether these are beings that are helping you or aspects, obviously, of yourself or fragmented pieces of yourself that you're calling back as you heal through these traumas, the betrayals, what's exposed, what's not. When people get exposed, your reaction really says a lot about you. One, if you knew it and you know things on a soul level, you're already asking the light to expose those situations within what's within your timeline and on your energy field, and that you should be putting your time and energy into, if it is of importance. Always call on the light for the highest good of all. To whether it's something within yourself you want to see, which most of the time, if you can connect with yourself on a deeper level, you're able to understand others on a much deeper level. Insecurities, fears, anxieties, depression. I watched Snow White today. Obsessions that others have, rebout with just, I don't know. There's a lot of things that you've been up against or been exposed to, or you're able to see at this time. You definitely have the foresight and the clairsentience. You have all of the clairs. You're able to, it's almost like, I said telepathy, it's just foresight. You recognize energies, your body is cueing and signaling into your physical body at this time, so it is seeding a higher aspect of yourself, really working congruently with your higher consciousness, your higher self in that way, which is really helping to activate other things within your genetic codes at this time. As going back to that writer, I want to say, I think that there has been an anticipation within your ability to step out in your leadership out of fear of being exposed, and a lot of this, let's just think about this. Look at what the president, motherfucker, you don't know you're running to president until you're in your 30s. Let me tell you what, if I was running for president, which I would not, okay, N-A-fucking-T, I would not be running for president. But if I would, I'd be so fucked. You went to jail for this, paraphernalia here, scratch that, sniff here, did meth, did weed, lost your kids, you've been this, that, and this. Well, based off of outward appearances, motherfuckers who go through shit are the ones that have, and especially somebody who's determined and their tenacity. It's just the fire within their belly that roars. It just always brings them back to a deeper reason. Not on the surface level, why am I going through this, but deep down within the soul, like, fucking thank God. Thank God that I have the gumption and the bravery and the courage to endure all things. Because it's not that you're doing it alone. You understand you don't carry the burden alone, and it's really not a burden. You have this ability to shift your perspective in that way. Sorry, my phone's got to move you closer. My phone's starting to die. It's definitely a journey. And when you start to awaken, you remember a lot of other things, especially if it's something significant that's mirroring a different timeline or a past life. I believe everything's happening at once. There's just different versions of us. Fuck, I don't know. I just work here and it's my first day. But I know my intuition. I know my abilities to connect and more beyond that. Because before that, to hone these skills and abilities, I've had, you become very humbled. You have a huge ego death. You don't want me running for president. I've done so much shit that I would never be picked for. But you know what? God picked me. I picked me. And those things about me tell a beautiful story and breeds hope for others. And not a lot of people have made it out of those times with the ODing, the suicide, and the things that they've been through. I am. And I want to, say, if you're somebody who's struggling with addiction or somebody who's trying to overcome a mental block or a mental, whether it's just heavy trauma or you're super sensitive to the energies of others, I just want to say how much I love you. And I look at the quarter of this back of this card. See the heart? All hearts connect, and your roots run deeper than you know. And anybody who's struggling with addiction right now, I just call that spirit off. And it's fear. A lot of it is also manifested in other maleficent underhanded ways. You'll find a lot of starseeds and a lot of highly creative people will use drugs and alcohol due to they have so much energy, and if it's not going towards sex, right, it has to go somewhere, or that's where we get ourselves in the trouble. It's highly creative minds, highly inventive people, and not only that, they can slip into the state where they feel depressive or anxiety, or because you're fucking gifted and you're walking in a very heavy, dense world, and they don't teach us how to use our abilities. It's something we have to find within ourselves, but within that journey and being called crazy, and you kept going, you keep going. And no matter what, you talk to the water, you talk to the trees, you're working with the upper world and the upper realms. Bells will be ringing. You've got the bells out here, jingle, jingle, soul retrieval. Somebody here's going on a soul retrieval. That could be the journey to receive an aspect of your soul on this timeline. And I want to say, I think you fucking did it. I think other things on this timeline are being exposed for what they were in that space and time. Deliberately, I'm hearing. Deliberately. Abuse of technology, once again. I do want to say here, too, I think with the mind control or the manipulation of other people's psyche, my dog just started barking as soon as I said that. You're protected from that. You might suffer some small, and all it does when you get those psychic attacks and you pick up on a lot of things, just focus on, the light surrounding you and going within your being, and love. Focus on love. Focus, because when the Grim Reaper comes to snatch your fucking soul, right, he's gonna see, are you terrified? Are you scared? And you gotta look the devil right in the fucking face sometimes and say, let's go, motherfucker. Let's go. And you call on your angels, you call on the light, and you do what you need to do. That's the spirit of the person I'm talking to today. Somebody who's calling back and retrieving the aspect of himself. Somebody here's a fucking demon slayer. You're a vigilante. You might have a checkered past, but everybody knows your heart is for the truest good of all. Kicking ass and taking names. If you ain't first, you're last. If you ain't first, you're last. Soul retrieval's out here, though. So, I don't know if somebody's doing past life regression or deeper meditations, exceeding boundaries. It feels very supported. There's something very important here within your zodiac that it's time for redemption. Your expression of your emotions and your soul. You're working with higher versions of yourself right now. This is to bring about confidence back. I think you believe, I think you remember, okay, and I think this might be what we're retrieving here, is some sort of fear-stricken, I really feel like with the exposed, I feel like something underhanded happened in whatever way, and that's noticed and that's identified, without a doubt. In whatever way, I'm hearing, they fucking mystic, bro. And fuck them. I'm hearing fuck them. You know what? Everybody has their own unique gifts and abilities, and I guess what you use them for is what matters, intention. And somebody here, you guys serve two different entities. Somebody here works, serves this earthly master, this earth, luxuries, those things here that are on the earth, greed, hatred, envy, jealousy, keep up with the Joneses, social circle, backstabbing, bullshit talking, defamation of character of others. I want to say this has all been seen in the heavenly realms. Not only that, but you're fucking with an extraterrestrial, somebody who holds highly genetic codes. You could be a parent who has seeded and upgraded many different timelines. Let's just say that for one. Two, just your seeds being here is you can't touch this, nah. with that judgment and the exposed out here, you know, that persecution when that card came out. I think that, you know, in some lifetime, you had somebody murdered, you know, somebody was murdered here, because I'm looking down and I'm seeing the judge, the law of karma, law enforcement, evolved, capture. Somebody was swindled here, okay. This could have been a late modern age. It says identity, walking the middle path, childbirth. Somebody died, let's just say this, widower, wife. Where was that other card? Oh, here it was. Gluttony, the lesson of gluttony here. The husband and wife card both come out with obsessed and loved.